Today we're going to do an ancestral healing Nidra. So before we get settled in, all comfy cozy, if there is an item that reminds you of someone loved and dear, go ahead and find it. It doesn't have to be an item from them. It could be something that reminds you of them. A token. Perhaps even just a candle that is the color or scent that they adored. And take a moment to settle in with this item near you. And then get yourself all nestled in, adjusting the body and supporting it. Allowing yourself to fully rest upon earth in this moment, knowing she holds you always. And our oldest and most connected ancestor is always the earth herself. So just remember she's got you. Take a few breaths in, easy and accessible. Just noticing how the breath feels in your body. Being aware of the process of breathing in and of breathing out. Noticing the rhythm of your inhale and your exhale. The divine flowing through you. And as we settle in, notice the body sensations in this moment. Places where the body may be cool or warm, tense or relaxed, vibrant or settled, and all of the spectra in between. Just noticing. And as we move through the body and the journey of Nidra, be aware of the blood pulsing through your veins, your ancestors' gift to you. And if we are connecting with ancestors that are chosen and not biological, perhaps the breath itself connects you with them. Just noticing how you can deepen that connection through this practice. And begin to take a breath in, bringing to mind someone loved and dear, or just making space for an ancestor to present themselves. Could be someone known or unknown, named or unnamed. But we are only going to invite those ancestors who are in right relationship here in this moment. Those who've done their own work of healing and who have our highest good in mind. So we are connecting with that which is whole and nourishing for us. Letting their dreams, their wishes, their light flow through to you as we make our way down this path. And however you recognize these ancestors could be a slight smell in the air, a taste of food they may have loved, a sound maybe of music, or a repetitive habit like woodworking, or the soft rustle of sewing. Just noticing what comes to mind for you. Perhaps there are images, a beloved space, or even just the way your grandmother held your hand, or placed salve upon scratches and wounds, feeling that comforting touch. And as we settle into the Nidra itself, allow their presence to be near, welcoming into this space. And we're going to begin to move through the body from the top of the head, through the ears, the temples, and the forehead. Both eyebrows, eyelids, and eyelashes. The spot between the eyebrows and the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose. The nostrils and the cheeks, the upper lips and lower lips. The teeth in the mouth, the roof of the mouth, and the tongue resting in the mouth. And perhaps that tongue has those sayings heard so many times upon an ancestor's lips. Or that slight drawl or accent. Whatever you notice. Allowing your awareness to move now down through the jaw, and the chin, the sides of the neck, and the front and back of the neck. The tops of the shoulders and the shoulder joints. Down the right upper arm and lower arm. The back of the hand and the palm of the hand and the creases of your journey etched along that palm. Your story and the stories that came before you. Down along the pinky and the ring finger, the middle finger, the pointer and the thumb, up through the right wrist and the elbow, the armpit and the right collarbone, and the space between the collarbones. Take a breath here, a refreshing and nourishing breath. Moving your awareness now across the left collarbone to the left shoulder joint and the upper arm, the lower arm and the back of the hand, the palm of the hand and all the rivulets and paths that you've walked, the thumb and pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky, up through the wrist, the elbow, the armpit, the sides of the ribs and the lungs nestled within the rib cage, the sternum and the heart, the blood flowing through you, made of the gifts of our ancestors, your inheritance, as though their stories can move through you as well. Take a breath here and sigh deeply, moving your awareness now to the back body, the shoulder blades, the spot between the shoulders, down through the mid-back, across to the solar plexus, to this place of strength, of resilience, of courage. Feeling into the strength that also flows through you. Your own strength mingling with the strength of those who walked these paths before. Moving awareness down through the sides of the waist, the belly and the gut, the belly button, and back to the low back, the muscles. Up and down the spine itself, and then all the way to the sacrum, wrapping around the perineum to the abdomen, the pelvic bowl. We'll take a breath here. Breathing in and breathing out at your own pace. Moving your awareness now down through the thighs and the hamstrings, both shins and calves, the ankles and the heels, and up along the top of the left foot and the outer edge and inner arch of this foot. The soul and the web within the soul. Your story etched upon the earth. Bringing awareness to the pinky toe, the fourth, the third, the second, and the big toe. And across to the right big toe and second toe, third, fourth, and fifth, the little pinky toe. And your awareness comes now up through the top of the right foot, the outer edge and the inner arch, the sole of the foot, and the lines upon the foot, as though each line was a word speaking of your journey. And feeling that earthed essence of the feet grounded, as though the rootlets could reach deep into the earth upon which your ancestors, your beloved kin, walked. Perhaps you rest upon the lands they also lived upon, or you're nearby. Or perhaps you have traveled far and wide and you just feel the essence of the shared earth herself. Noticing what's present for you, as though you could breathe up from the feet, through the legs, the knees, and the hips, all the way up through the low back, the abdomen, and the belly, the mid-back, and the solar plexus, the upper back and the chest, through the arms and the shoulders, the neck and the head. Feeling this journey, this movement from earth to the top of the head and above to the sky, to the heavens themselves. Take a breath and breathe out, feeling a cool wind wash over you, as though it's the essence of being not alone, but being cherished. And bring back to mind that loved one you called in earlier, or perhaps you just invited in, leaving the door open for them. Have a sense of their presence. Maybe even check in and see if they're the only one around. Perhaps others have joined by now. It could be a beloved quilt resting upon the body, a thimble, even a pecan, reminding you of so many shells, nuts fallen from a tree, a snap pea, a spatula, a tire gauge, whatever connects with you in your journey. The smell of fresh baked cookies or pie, or even the rich forest or fields around where you grew up or where they resided. Feeling into whatever is present in this moment. That one ancestor or the folks who gathered around, all healed, all welcome in this place, knowing that they only seek your highest good. Feeling the love they have for you deeply, gently. Your strength running through your bones and your veins. Your softness and the breath upon your body. And we all have different ways of honoring our kin. Perhaps you set up an altar or an ofrenda, a shot glass and beloved fruit, spices or pictures. Maybe for you there's a table with a seat placed so intentionally, all the favorite foods nearby, the drinks, the flowers upon the table, welcoming those who've come before. Or perhaps for you, you're in a sweet cemetery. Trees are rustling. You hear any farm animals nearby, any water running near. And perhaps for you, you have this sense of many loved ones all around, leaving gifts upon their graves. There's no right or wrong here. It could even be a cherished book. You open the pages, you smell the paper, and you read the lines they've read so many times before. honoring your journey. Maybe none of these things resonate for you and there's something else. Even a song, a melody, wafting above your head, dancing through your ears, resting upon your heart. Like stardust, lighting you up. Just noticing what's available to you in this moment. The stories that arise, the connection, the feeling of being so held and so loved and so protected, so powerful and connected. Noticing the grace that flows through you as easily as the strength does. The feeling of being both rooted and spacious. In epigenetics, we talk about inherited trauma, but we have inherited resilience as well. So as we set the table, the altar, we light the candles. Begin to make space not only for the gifts we are offering to those we love, but perhaps there's an empty bowl. Any kind of bowl you would like. Dealer's choice. And within that bowl, gifts are being placed in return. Notice what gifts they have for you. Maybe it's as tangible as jewelry, or coinage from a foreign land, even as delicate as a flower, or a gently crocheted needlepoint. Whatever it might be, even a carved totem. Perhaps it's in the guise of words or pictures. Less tangible, but a feeling of joy, of curiosity, of cheekiness, the mischief flowing through you. And notice who comes to mind. Notice what each beloved ancestor has to offer. Could their gifts be connected with truth and integrity? With a feeling of being deeply nourished and living in abundance. Honoring your wisdom and your intuition, that curiosity, that magic that lives within. Or maybe there is just limitless love available to you in this moment. And as you notice these gifts, feeling the threads of connection flowing through. Gentle, perhaps translucent, and yet so strong. The same braid, when dry, is not nearly as powerful as when we've wet it. And so this remembrance, the space of connection, as like that liquid we have used to strengthen the bond. And just noticing. Not only that we are pulling gifts from our ancestors, but we are flowing back to them so that our healing, our spaciousness, our freedoms, our knowledge, it flows not only from them, but it boomerangs on back. So we are in reciprocity. Not only being healed, but doing some healing ourselves. As though that Granny putting her arm around you can be leaned into, and even the little girl she was, you hold her hand. Or the Nana placing the salve upon your body. Perhaps you look down at a time when there were tears in her eyes when she was younger, and you just offer her a handkerchief and a listening ear. So we are not only in a space of inheritance, but we are in a space of vibrant and authentic connection in this moment. Just noticing what arises. And perhaps your ancestors aren't direct lineage, perhaps they're uncles or cousins, or benefactors and dear ones who came before. Found family who transitioned prior to us. Just being aware who's sitting at your table. And making sure everyone has a place who needs one. Being aware how this connection, this weaving in and out through time, through story, how it resonates with you. What is opening up within you as we place these gifts in the bowl? And as you returned your strength, your courage, your gentleness to the ancestors who needed it as well. What is lighting up within you? What's woken up? Just noticing. How's your breath right now? Parts of your body feel spacious and light, as though they could float away. And what parts of your body feel heavy and relaxed, so nourished by the earth herself? Maybe even as you lay here, you have jewelry or pillows or items nearby that we called in earlier. I'm just noticing that connection, not just across time, but in the current moment. Remembering you are never alone. Your ancestors, your descendants, biological or otherwise, they're holding your hand. They've got their arms around you, helping you to walk when walking may not feel too steady. Knowing that your strength is not your own, but the coursing through your veins of so many generations of care, of connection. And just as that favorite stew or soup or dumplings nourished your soul at one point, so too does this love fill you up and feed you right now in this moment. And just noticing how that feels in the body too. Take an easy, full breath. Letting it go. And begin to bring your awareness back into the space around you. Perhaps lovingly acknowledging the candle, the scent, the item you place near you. Being aware of the temperature in the room and of the space you take up within it. And knowing that these loved ones are always available, they're always present. But in this moment, before we shift back into this moment, into this tangible space, just take a moment and thank them. Whether it be for their gifts or for opening up to you and allowing you to be present in their journey. Recognizing the honor and privilege it is to share your stories, to share your journeys with these lovely folks who walked before and walk alongside. And as you begin to come back, also beginning to notice sound around you, feeling textures against the skin, noticing the breath in the body. When you're ready, let the eyes blink open, blending the inner world and the outer world. And so it is. This ancestral Nidra is complete. Blessed be y'all.